Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my channel. I say another episode like it's a TV or show or something. TV show. I always have a slur, but like in real life I'm actually completely fine. It's just I have this slur whenever I'm trying to record something for you guys. I think I have an issue with like talking on camera. Maybe not, I don't know. I think I analyze some things I say too much sometimes. Anyway, welcome back to another video on this channel. And today I thought I would just talk about, do like a little story time kind of scenario and just talk about some interesting things. Originally, I did want to talk about the time that I dressed Kim Kardashian, but if you guys would like to hear about that, let me know in the comments and I will fill you guys in. But as for now, I do want to talk about something a little bit more serious, and I'm trying to keep my videos to a maximum of like 10 to 15 minutes so I don't give you guys like an hour-long film. Even though I personally like to listen to people on YouTube for like an hour, like when I'm in the shower or like when I go to bed. It's really interesting for me, so again, that's something I'd like to know from you guys. But basically, I just want to talk about Asian parents and just their mentality about certain issues, especially when it comes to work. I think what sparked off this thought for me personally is when I read someone's Instagram comment on one of those memes, and it had something to do with black parents or work ethic, and somebody commented and said, yo, it like has something to do with how they're like slave masters always like kept like cracking the whip and saying you can't rest, you can't do this, you can't sleep, like you got to do this. So it like in turn that kind of fed into the mentality of black parents, where when they see their child not doing anything, it's like, get up, do something, why are you lying down, go wash the dishes, go wash your room, go do this. Now, people could argue that there's a positive side to the story where it's like, yeah, it's great to not be sitting on your ass and not doing something in the same way that people say, it's always great to be productive and proactive. But when you are being productive and proactive, it's only logical that you would also need some time to feed your soul, and that comes from having alone time and rest time and downtime. And we all know the effects of overstressed people and just the kind of stresses we give ourselves, and then how it starts to impact the people around us because we are stressed with our daily lives. And I think this is something really interesting to talk about, because lately I've felt the same way, because I am currently in between doing my full-time business, which is Avastave, and it's in its initial stages, so it's really tough, and I have to finance it somehow, and the finance comes with so many strings attached. And at the moment I am I'm with my mom, and it's just me and her, and it's been that way for such a long time, and I'm great with that. My mom has been like such a strong female presence in my life, and I love that because she's one of the most hardworking people that I know. But also it's quite tough to balance that dynamic where it's like, you're following a dream, but at the same time you need to have something to keep you going day to day, and that not having that but still trying to be productive and proactive, and then show your parents that you are being productive and proactive, or your parent in this case, is quite a balance. And I think that's why I've found myself settling into this mentality where I look at so much of the positivity that is in my life. I've had great parents to a certain degree. I mean, every family has its own set of dysfunctional elements, right? And I've met some wonderful people along the way. I've studied at a great university. I've had the ability to start my own brand. And I see so many positives in my life that I don't see any point concentrating on the negatives. And honestly, this new path or this new wave of thought has really, in the past week, I think, is when it kicked in full force, because I happened to watch this course on MindValley, and I will leave the link to that in the bio. It's actually a paid course, but I watched it for like an hour on a free seminar through a YouTube ad. And I think the guy who gave the seminar was Vishen Lakhiani. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but amazing. All the words kind of transcended reality, and at the same time they were so grounded in fact, and they really made me feel confident in who I am, and it really made me accept who I am. So I think the general point of the story or today's vlog is to find something that makes you um, unique, and find something that makes you click, and find something that makes you feel connected and with this earth and with yourself. Because I feel like so much of the problems that we have as millennials, or people living within cities especially, is that we genuinely lose touch with who we are. We lose touch because we're overworked. We lose touch because we're stressed out by our spouse. We lose touch because we're stressed out by our kids. And we end up not being connected with ourselves. And even though you think you are the least or the last person to worry about, you are and should always be the person you think about first, in order to think about the rest of the people that you care about. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of the people around you. And you might think that you're doing that, but you are not being 100% your authentic self, because of the inner problems that are festering within you that you have not addressed. So you need to take a step back, take several steps back, take several seats, no, take several steps back, and figure out what makes you click. Is it, taking that pottery class in Jumeirah? Is it, going for a run every day? Is it 20 minutes of meditation every day? Is it, leaving your kids at home for like a maximum of 1 hour with a family member and going to have a cup of coffee by yourself? What truly makes you happy? Because I am telling all of you through first-hand experience that in the past week, since I've truly awakened to the possibility that everything that I want in life is within my grasp, and that everything that I need in life is coming to me, and that I should not judge myself based on the weight that it takes for those things that are inevitably going to come to me due to the work that I'm doing to get them, I have felt so content and at peace. And yes, sometimes I'm really frustrated. Sometimes I snap. I have that drag queen like snap in me, and I'm just like blah, blah, blah. But in the past month, since I've stopped smoking and drinking and now found my way into this positive path in life, I am so much more content with who I am, and I see no need in getting angry or swept up in other people's negative emotions. Now, I talk about this constantly on my Instagram, where I sometimes feel like people who have the best intentions for you, that could be a parent, a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, a cousin, someone very close to you, someone who has the best intentions for you, can often be the source of your negative energy, or could be the source of the negative vibes that you constantly feel smothered by, because they do mean well for you, but they don't know how to go about showing you that they mean well to you. So whenever they ask you about something that you personally feel bad about, it creates all this tension and unwanted negativity. Now, as I've said before, as I've tweeted before, and as every other piece of parchment or paper or educational document says, if something is negative for you, you either kill it with kindness or silence. But the best path, or the best course of action for me personally, is to step away, take a breath, or if that doesn't work, completely distance yourself from it. Yes, even if it is somebody really close to you, because honestly, there's only so much that you can actually fix an issue with someone that is bringing negative energy to you. It's like trying to constantly validate yourself and validate yourself and validate yourself, and to the point that you lose who you are trying to validate yourself to somebody whose opinion is truly irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. If you know where you're going, if you've implemented a plan of action, if you know that you're following the steps to implement those plans to action, then you know where you're going. And I don't think you should let anybody deter you from your end goal. Now, this applies, of course, primarily from my experience to people in the creative field, because it is a lot tougher for people in the creative field. We don't have 9-to-5 jobs. We can't go to a certain university and then get a job. And yes, of course, the job struggle isn't easy, but for specific professions, there is a lot more employment. Like if I had marketing experience, or if I was more technical, like I would be able to get a full-time job that supports me just as much in order to fund a lot of other areas of my life. But the reality is, in the creative field, that position and that pay is very hard to come by. So you need to believe in yourself, believe in a plan, structure it so that everything goes along smoothly. And look, this is life. Like, nothing is ever going to go 100% smoothly, but at the same time, if you believe in yourself and believe in your gut and believe in your instinct, You have so much inner peace that you don't even need to explain to people how you feel or what you're doing. When the words come out of your mouth, you will be so content and so at peace and so proud of the things, of the little things that you've done to get to where you are, that you will not feel judged, or you will not feel ashamed, or you will not let anybody else's negative energy get to you. So to end this little vlog on a positive note, I hope this entire vlog has been positive, but I see the button hitting 10:54, so I'm going to keep it to 11 and tell you guys that I'm not just posting inspirational quotes on my Instagram. I'm not just blabbing all this smack and reposting and hashtagging. I've genuinely applied this into my life, and honestly, so far for me, the results have been spectacular and life-altering and transcendent, and I urge all of you to follow your path, and that path is typically what makes you happy. So once you've honed in on what truly makes you happy, you will find that inner peace that you've wanted for so long. That happiness can be something you find internally by resolving some kind of past trauma, or that happiness could be, as I mentioned before, something more physical. Whatever it is, you owe it to yourself to live your best life, and you can only do that by finding out what makes you happy. I hope you guys love the channel. I hope you guys show me some love, and subscribe and follow me on Instagram, and love you guys. Peace out.